Hi, good day. My name is Michael Wright Reynolds. This is discussion board 4 video of the philosophical model analysis and social reform review of our pick, and my pick is Jane Addams. Now, Jane Addams was born in 1860 in Caryville, Illinois. She was born to Sarah and John Addams, and unfortunately, by the age of 2, Sarah had died, and John Addams went on with life, and it was very, very successful in life. As a matter of fact, her father, Jane's father, was big into lumber, into timber, and he was big in cattle and agriculture and flour, and worked, owned the logging mill, if you will, parts and bits and pieces of it. So they were a very well-to-do family there in Illinois. Also, John Addams, which was kind of notable, was the fact that he was also very, very good friends with a lot of different statesmen, a lot of different folks that had actually succeeded in the political world. One of them being that you'll all recognize right off the bat was Abraham Lincoln. He helped him with his run when he ran for state representative, state senator, if you will. And of course, we know that many times over, Abe lost a lot of those races before he ran for. And yes, John didn't help him run for the president of the United States. And of course, that's history, and Abe won. And that's on water under the bridge. During that time frame, as Jane was growing up, she was exposed to all these folks, and also she was a very strong reader, if you will. And one of her favorite authors was Charles Dickens. And of course, Charles Dickens used to write a lot about the poor. And so Jane always felt, as she was growing up, that she wanted to do something for the poor. So one of the things that she wanted to do as she became of age was become a doctor. Unfortunately, back then, again, the man ruled. And unfortunately, her father wanted her to stay close nearby to the family. So she attended Rockford Female Seminary, which now is known as Rockford University. And she did receive her collegiate certificate and wanted to do so much more. She is known as a progressive social reformer. She's a progressive reformer and the most prominent advocate for settlement house movement. Now, what is a settlement house? Well, she was the founder of the Hull House. Her and her favorite and lifelong bestest friend, which was Ellen Gates Starr, they both in 1889, developed the Hull House. The Hull House was developed for the poor, the immigrants, the women who were highly educated, but yet were not accepted into society, into some of the positions, if you will, to get involved with society. So in the Hull House, they had a place to stay. They had a place to live. They had a place to interact and learn education. She was also a celebrity of her time with her close friends who believed in her educational reforms, her social education reforms, which one you recognize, John Dewey. And John Dewey and her were, again, like the celebrities of that era. And George Meade was another one that she was also very close with, and they were all pragmatists. And, during her works and all her ability to work within the social networking and reform of education and helping the poor and helping the immigrant assimilate to the United States of America. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1921 for her advocacy of all peoples. And, one of the things that I think that really got me, that I was probably starstruck the most, was she was the founder of the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. She was also one of the big founders of the NAACP. She also founded what was known as the Juvenile Protective Association, the JPA, which has now become, what? Juvenile Court Probation. In 1935, when she died, she was known as the best known female public figure. She did a lot for the community. I often wonder what it would be like for her today to deal in today's society, because she was what we would call today a community organizer, and someone who felt that anybody and everybody should be authorized and let experience learning. And that was why I picked Jane Addams. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And my name is Michael Wright Reynolds, and I look forward to working with you in future classes. Thank you.